Hello, it's Krista here, coming to you in the early morning hours. I will speak as articulately as I can, but I want to talk about covenants and how the enemy uses covenants to gain access to our lives, to try to do harm, and what we do, and how we pray and break that off, and what are covenants? How are covenants made? Well, if you're married or were married, you had a marriage covenant. Um, and if you have children, you have a covenant as a parent to take care of them. Um, we have covenants with we have a covenant with God when we gave our life to Christ. But then there are also covenants that the wicked try to make with people in order to overtake them. Like in the story of Samson and Delilah. Delilah was paid money to try to find out where Samson's strength lies. It says in Judges 16:5, entice him, find out where his great strength lies. By what means we may overpower him, we may bind and afflict him. So these covenants can weaken a person to share personal information about ourselves or to open up to a person. Let's say friendship, we can use covenants with our words, say, oh, you're my best friend, or we'll always be friends, or I just feel like you're the only person I can confide in. Whatever we use with our words can be used against us if that person isn't a healthy person, a good person. Covenants can be made through food, through salt covenants. Covenants are made through handshakes. Covenants are made through signing job contracts. Um, those are the covenants are made through intercourse. Those are some of the big ones. So if those things happen in a dream, the enemy will also use covenants in that way. Covenants can be made in signatures. Um, even signing a document in a dream. The enemy will try to take that and run with it. So we want to just pray and break all of that off. Um, what the what happened with me recently, a couple nights ago, was the Amazon drivers, the kind of rotating people of drivers, delivery drivers I have, pull right up to my garage, and someone asked to project into my place 2 nights ago. And what the Lord was showing me is they're using the enemy twists everything. So saying like, oh, because I have access to this house by virtue of delivering this package. But what I noticed is when the person projected, they came in through the garage because the garage and the configuration of the house is such that it runs through like the hallway, whatever. Somebody knew the configuration of my house and the direction of the bedroom. That's all I'll say. And that's what they were using as an entry point, saying, see, because I delivered this, I have access to the house. So the enemy will twist and try to create lies to create entry points into someone's life. The other thing that God has been showing me lately is just to be careful who I subscribe to online, because some people who aren't really believers, who are wolves in sheep's clothing, and then you go online and make comments, and their channels that's being used against me, because they might be, really a warlock, or doing something else, and that every agreement is trying to kind of wear a person down, kind of create an access point, a doorway into someone's life. So I just want to say that I don't create any covenants with any of the listeners of my channel. This is a free will channel. I create no covenants with you, nor anyone else who chooses to listen to this content. Yeah, I just want to say that's my mindset, and so I'll state it clearly here. Um, I think that's all I wanted to share. Is that just to pray and fast and pray if you don't know what covenants you have with people who are still holding on to something. You're getting some attacks, you don't know where they're coming from. It's very important to break covenants, but it's also important to know who we have covenants with are still operational in the spirit realm. One person I follow online, she's in another country, was talking about organizations that she was part of that she didn't realize were being used against her because they took it as a covenant. She didn't say it was like a Rotary Club, but it was some sort of organization. And the organization, the members, some members of the organization weren't good, didn't have the best interest in mind of its members. And the Lord was showing her that they use that organization and its membership as an access point to attack, as a covenant point. So again, just think about covenants as open doors to the enemy, and we want to close all of those doors. And so we're not having any kind of leaks, energy leaks, gifts stolen, things transferred to from or to us, evil exchanges and so forth. And so fasting and praying, or just praying, in the morning, maybe you're fasting, so you haven't had, breakfast yet. That God will show you where those covenants are, who's holding something in the spirit realm and saying that they have a covenant with you or with us. And then pray and cancel it. Simple as that, right? Okay, well, I hope this helped you in some way, and thanks for listening. Have a good day.